July 2nd, they arrive. July 3rd, they attack. July 4th is Independence Day. The day we fight back. Rated PG-13. Only at theaters July 3rd.
Now that's what I call a close encounter. Independence Day starts right now. Welcome back to the Couch Potato Podcast. I'm Russ. Once again, Lucas isn't joining us this week. With it being a holiday weekend, he's got family affairs to attend to. So, since we're doing a disaster movie, I figured what two better people to spend if I was caught in the midst of an alien invasion to be stuck with than producer Adam and the first lady of the podcast, Jen. How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Doing well. Hope y'all are doing the same.
Good deal. Good deal. I don't know, Adam. I think maybe we'll just shit can Lucas. What do you think?
Yep.
I don't think he wants to do this with us anymore. I think that whole baby thing was a setup not to do this anymore. He just didn't have it in his heart to tell me. So he decided to get his girlfriend pregnant, and they had a baby, and then they decided to do family stuff. It just keeps piling up.
It's a very elaborate scheme.
That's a very elaborate. It's almost like a movie setup in itself, but that's the only thing I can figure. I went fucking deep on that one.
You just went all out with it for sure.
He's got that that cork board with like the red arrows going like pictures of us with question marks like how to break the news, and then like he's got a picture of his girlfriend, and then I don't know, it's crazy. All right, but we are doing since it's the 4th of July, we're going to do Independence Day, the perfect 4th of July movie. And actually, when we started this, like we figured we would do like movies that kind of have a theme, whether it's like an anniversary date or something. This is like the first movie that popped up. I told Lucas, I said, if we have a release date close to the 4th of July, we have to do this. So we're doing Independence Day. When was the first time you seen Independence Day, Jen?
I think 96, right?
Yep, released in 96.
Let's see. So I would have been in 8th grade. I think that my mom took me to see this, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
I think that she did.
Oh, wow. Adam, what was your first viewing of Independence Day?
I believe it was on TV. I didn't get to see this one in theaters. I was old enough to go to the theaters at the time, but I don't know why I didn't see it in theaters. I'm probably too young, I guess. I don't know. Too scary for me. But I believe I watched it on TV with Dad, which is how I watched a whole bunch of movies like this. So.
Yeah, didn't your dad introduce you to RoboCop when you were super young?
And not when I was super young, but indeed he did introduce me to RoboCop. I think it's probably like 13 or 14, something like that.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I remember they started promoting this movie close to the Super Bowl, and I remember the ad was basically the White House getting blown up, and I looked at my brother and I said, fuck, I got to go see this when it comes out. And it was just, I think they had like July 2nd is when this came out. And I seen the White House exploding, and I'm like, I got to be there. And then when like they started showing like the ads and the teaser trailers and the trailers come out, I was there the first night, the first showing of it. Because I think they started it here at town at like 7 o'clock on like it was a Tuesday, and me and my buddy went and seen it the first showing we could, and it was just blown away by how awesome it was. So that was my introduction to it. Guys seem to be super impressed.
I'm very impressed.
All right, real quick run down the tail of the tape. Released on July 3rd, 1996, not July 2nd, so don't pay any attention to me. Directed by Roland Emmerich, who followed this up with the epic turd Godzilla, which did you say something about I should mention that was his follow-up?
Yeah. That's his follow-up.
This stars Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Margaret Collin, Vivica A. Fox, Randy Quaid, and the incomparable Robert Loggia. This box office was $817 million on a $75 million budget. The Rotten Tomatoes score is 67% from critics and 75% from audiences. And you can currently stream this on HBO Max.
Boom.
So I kind of went into real quick. First off, right before we started, I noticed that 96 was a pretty awesome year for movies. I think this is like the third one we've done. We've done actually 3 of the 4 top grossing movies of this year now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did Twister. The Rock was the one that started it all. And now this one.
Those were all 96?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the only one we haven't done yet is Mission Impossible.
And is that planned for the future?
That's probably coming up.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we kind of touched on this on the Twister episode, but this kind of started a new trend in movie making. Where before, like, if you wanted to, a studio wanted to do a big blockbuster, they got the biggest star they could, paid them a shit ton of money to be in it. And, you know, chances are the movie's going to make money. But Twister was kind of the start where if you just got people that you recognized and you sold people on the premise, they came out seeing it. And I think this is probably, like, the best example of that. What do you guys think?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I would agree with that as well, because I think there's a lot of people in here that when I look at them by face, I don't necessarily recognize their name, but I know that they may have been in many other movies that I've seen. And I think that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you're not promoting Tom Cruise or Harrison Ford. You're promoting, hey, aliens are invading planet Earth. And, oh, hey, it's got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's got Jeff Goldblum. We should probably go see that.
Right.
And speaking of Will Smith, he kind of goes from being like a television star, did a couple movies. He was in 6 Degrees of Separation, which is what got him this role. But he was in Bad Boys. And then after this, becomes an A-list movie star. He's the biggest star in the world after this, which I thought was really cool. I mean, what is that how you guys remember Will Smith before this came out?
I remember Will Smith being on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because I used to watch that when I was a kid. And then
Who didn't?
Right. I mean, it's classic. Mm-hmm. But I just remember him being in that as a goofy teenager. And then I just remember him just blowing up on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Adam, what do you...
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I remember watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think this is the first movie that I actually saw him in that was, big blockbuster movie. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I remember I went and seen Bad Boys in theaters because I'm a little bit older than you guys. I'm showing my age here, but I've seen Bad Boys in the movie theater too.
Yeah, I was a little too young for that one.
Yeah, my mom didn't give a shit. It's like, I'll go see a rated R movie. I don't care. But then also 96 was also a pretty epic year for disaster flicks between this and then Twister.
I kind of feel like with those 2 movies is when the, I guess, disaster movies, how we know it, kind of took off.
Well, they had like let's see, in a 2 or 3 year period they had the meteorite hitting Earth movies. They had Armageddon and Deep Impact. They had the alien invasion movie. This one. They had the volcano movies, which was Volcano.
Dante's Peak. Now I'm trying to remember what
year
Volcano
that was. Yeah, Volcano and Dante's Peak. I wasn't prepared for this. I don't remember what year that was. I wasn't prepared for you to...
But I think that they were all after 96. Now, I could be wrong on a couple of those, but I just remember a plethora of disaster movies after Independence Day is kind of why I say that.
Yeah. I'm going to take a look here real quick if you two care to continue to discuss. Yeah, like they just seem to be coming out with like... They always seem to be competing ones, too. There was also the Sylvester Stallone one where people are trapped inside of a tunnel. Daylight.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Not too bad. Let's see.
Also a bunch of crappy ones like The Core.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that one.
The Volcano movies were 97.
97. Okay.
Then,
okay.
There was the Volcano movies. Then the Meteor movies was 99.
Okay. But I know there's been more since then. There's been like The Day After Tomorrow.
Also done by Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That seemed to be their wheelhouse. They did this one, and then they did that one with Cusack, too. I forget what the name of that one was. He's the limo driver.
A disaster movie?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what that one is either.
Well, God damn it, guys. People are already going to tune this off like, God, these guys suck tonight. I think it's 2012. Yeah, 2012, which was released in 2009. Huh, how funny.
It's just called 2012? Mm-hmm. Oh, so that's with John Cusack as a limo driver?
Yeah, he's the limo driver.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah. Huh. You're probably not missing much. Probably not that good. Like, seriously, Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin, they did Stargate, which was awesome. They did this one. That was awesome. I kind of like The Patriot. And I really can't think of anything else that they've done worthwhile. They did, like, White House Down. They did The Day After Tomorrow. Either. Yeah, White House Down was the year of the President or the White House Under Siege movies.
Oh, okay.
Because they had Olympus Has Fallen a few months earlier, which is the better one of the two.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, like, it seemed to be, yeah, it was a good point. They seemed to come out with, like, this was, like, kind of like the apex of the disaster movie. Mm-hmm. Like, Twister and Independence Day kicked it off. So,
right.
So, we're going to get into the categories now. You guys ready? You guys got your notes ready?
I do.
Yes.
No, you don't, Jen. I'm looking at you right now. You don't have any notes ready. You're just staring at mine. All right.
No. I already have in mind what I want to say. I thought about it. I did not write it down, but I am prepared.
Okay. All right. You want to kick off with the categories, or you want to dig into the research a little bit? Adam?
We can do research first.
All right.
Sure.
What do you got first?
Let's see here. I actually read an article today. I want to credit the article. It was Vanity Fair.
You don't have to do that. We don't do that around here.
But they were talking about how Fox didn't want Will Smith, and Roland Emmerich was just like fighting for Will Smith. The reason being was because if they casted a black actor, then worldwide box office would drop, which wasn't the case. And so he fought with Fox a lot about that. I thought that was really interesting too. I read the entire article, but I still don't remember who did it.
Yeah, I could see them like, hey, he's not an established box office star. I could see them maybe going off that premise, but I don't know, that their reason's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was really dumb.
Now we know why Fox is owned by Disney now.
Right.
And then next, you were right in saying that it premiered on July 3rd, but there were some showings before then on July 2nd, which just happens to coincide with the same day that the movie started in the actual plot.
Touching base on that, there is a Twitter feed right now, and I think they only bring it up around this time of the year. Like, somebody has a Twitter feed that basically follows the events of the movie in real time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just kind of scrolled through it, and it's like, like somebody, I think they described like their television signal is starting to mess up. And then it's like when the scene in the movie where like you start to see like that cloud of smoke in the Middle East. They's like, oh shit, there's something happening like in the Middle East. And then like, oh shit, it's happening in like Washington now. And yeah, it's kind of cool to like just check it out.
Kind of like what they do with War of the Worlds every year, where they do the radio broadcast, make it seem real.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing. That's cool.
Yeah, somebody's got to be freaked out by one of those too. There's still somebody out there like, oh fuck.
I'm
Mildred,
sure somebody's like doomsday prepping and everything.
Mildred, get the SpaghettiOs and the shotgun. We're going to the cave.
Let's see, what else do I have? The squadron that Will Smith is in was based in the MCAS El Toro, which is the same air base from which the flying wing bomber flew out of to drop the A-bomb on the Martians in the movie War of the Worlds.
Oh, very cool.
And it is a real air base in Orange County, California, and it was decommissioned in 1999.
Adam, you can call it the OC. People still know what you're talking about. We got to sound like we're hip here.
I'm not very hip. I'm too much of a nerd.
Well, neither am I.
Me either.
I'm recording a podcast at 10:30 on Saturday night.
But it's for July 4th, so it's all good.
True.
Let's see here. It became the second highest grossing film of all time worldwide, second only to Jurassic Park in 1993. And it broke records for the fastest to $1 million in 7 days and fastest to $2 million in 20 days. And those were both previously held by Jurassic Park, and both starred Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, wow. Goldblum bringing it in like the 90s stud.
Yup.
Actually, Jeff Goldblum is like, my wife has a list of guys that she wishes I look like, and Jeff Goldblum's making that list. I think he's number 3.
He's actually in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah, see, I told you.
I love Jeff Goldblum.
I think right before we said I do, she like kind of just whispered under her breath. She's like, I wish she looked like Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking before I said I do.
You can catch it on camera.
He's so full of shit.
I had a few tidbits here. The U.S. military had lended support to the film until they found out there's nods to Area 51, and then they decided not to help them out anymore.
Huh.
Good.
So, a little suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was kind of cool. And the film was originally supposed to be called Doomsday because Warner Brothers owned the rights to the name Independence Day. And Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich fought for Fox to change it to Independence Day to get the rights to it. And then the presidential speech, the last, today I declare this our Independence Day, they tacked that on to sell to Fox, hey, this is how important that title is for this movie. So then 2 weeks later, Fox gets the rights to the name Independence Day. Thought that was kind of cool. Because I can't... Cool. That movie is totally different, selling it as Doomsday.
Yeah.
That doesn't even sound like anything I would want to go see. Like,
I still would have checked it out, see the White House get blown up.
I mean,
yeah.
it just sounds so cheesy compared to Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
It also ruins my favorite quote of the movie, too. So.
Yeah. Which they added on to get it, which I thought was really cool.
Right. That is cool.
The virus that Jeff Goldblum uploads into the mothership is a nod to H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And also Jeff Goldblum, I think, is the catalyst for cybercrime.
Mm.
He's like the first like computer hacker.
Yeah.
So
and he hacks alien technology with a mech. So there's that.
Yeah. The role of the president was written for Kevin Spacey, but Fox executives felt that Spacey wasn't a big enough star, which is really funny that a few months prior, Kevin Spacey had won the Best Supporting Actor for The Usual Suspects, and then he was also in Seven.
Seven's a great movie.
But Independence Day was shot in 95, and it finished shooting I think it was right after The Usual Suspects came out. So Kevin Spacey blew up right after they had finished filming with that. So I guess looking back now, some 20, 25 years later, probably a good thing because, you know.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up as
Kevin
well.
Spacey's a creep.
Yes, huge creep.
I really couldn't find too much in terms of casting stuff outside of the Kevin Spacey subbing for Bill Pullman, but Jada Pinkett was offered the role of Jasmine, but she turned it down because she was shooting The Nutty Professor. Okay. So, and fun fact, a year later, Jada Pinkett and Will Smith get married.
That's awesome.
And then the last one I have is to save money, instead of using CGI special effects, Supervisor Volker Engel, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Mr. Engel, if you're listening, we all know he's probably not. He got a group of college students to help produce the effects inside of a hangar in L.A. And I thought this was really cool that there was over 3,000 effects shots for this that were going to cost $150,000 a shot.
Oh.
But since they used practical effects like models and like miniatures, things like that, they cut it down to $40,000 a shot.
Yeah, but still, when you think about that, that's just so much money. Yeah, it's crazy what goes into making movies with special effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they that's primarily why they didn't get like a huge name star to be in it, and that's primarily
to save money.
They were trying to cut as much of the cost down as they could. So.
Right.
Which it works. Like CGI, like back in '96, I think it would have looked like shit, especially like the White House scene.
Yeah.
Doing that with CGI, that would have looked like shit. But using like miniatures, like that thing is perfect.
Right.
So that's all I got. Jen, do you have anything? Or, I mean, I know you're looking at my notes, so I know you don't have anything.
No, we actually discussed this the other day when we were talking about the special effects, because when we were watching the movie, there's a specific scene where Will Smith is with Vivica A. Fox and her son in their house, and he says, oh, the neighbors are moving again, and they think it's an earthquake. And then when he goes outside and looks at it, you can actually tell because people are standing there, and then the angle, or however you want to say it, you can actually tell that it's a miniature. And we had that discussion.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really neat, and if I had research, that's what I would have.
Okay.
So.
But we all know now that you didn't.
No, I looked up what you told me to look up for the other sections, and that's my research.
All right, you're coming with it though.
Yeah.
Coming hard in the paint.
Sure.
All right. Well, that's all I've got for the research corner. So that leads us to the I Drink Your Milkshake Award for the best scene of the movie.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
Which, I don't know, this was pretty tough to narrow this down to 5. I think it's pretty much a two-horse race for who wins. But I will just rattle off 5, and if you guys have any others that you want to add to this, you know the drill by now. My first scene is the aliens landing, and then the destruction of like all the cities, especially the White House. That's, I mean, that scene alone of the White House blowing up is probably one of the most iconic film shots of the last 25 years. I mean,
for sure.
That to me, that sold the movie to me. Like the minute I seen that in February before this came out, I was like, I have to see that.
Yep.
And then I also don't understand why. I guess I do because, I mean, especially the way people have been the last 10 years, but I don't understand why people are so fucking stupid where they decide they want to like huddle under a spacecraft and have a party. Like there's people with signs, and like I would be the minute I seen an alien spacecraft. Like we live in Ohio, and like the closest one would have been in New York. Like we're going to like Iowa. Or Missouri. We're getting as far away from the coast as we can.
Right.
And real quick about that, too, the White House was actually a 5-foot scale model that they used, and they shot it at like 9 different camera angles to do the explosion. That's how they get that that really good looking shot of that.
Oh, that's cool.
I have as number 2 the Release Me scene in the lab. I thought that was kind of cool. Basically, it shows you like these dudes mean business. And then I kind of noticed when we were watching it the other night that Robert Loggia gives Whitmore that look like, just give me 5 minutes alone in the room with that alien and he would just take care of the whole thing.
Right. Is that the guy with the long hair?
No, that's Brent's. That's the doctor. Robert Loggia is General Gray.
Oh, okay. The one that actually kills the alien, right?
He's one of the ones that shoots the window out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Number 3, of course, is the President Whitmore Independence Day speech.
That'd be one of mine.
That speech is fucking cheesy, but
of course,
I get so fired up. Like I would drive a truck through a school if he told me to after that.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets you so fired up. Then I have the air battle sequence towards the end. I always like dog fights and stuff in movies like that, and I just thought that was really cool. And then the last scene I have is the desert walk after they've defeated the aliens. The reason I like this scene is like it looks like Jeff Goldblum is trying to match Will Smith's energy. Like he's trying to mock it. Like Will Smith looks so cool walking, through the desert, and then Jeff Goldblum is like kind of walking his way, and then he sees Will Smith, so then he tries to walk like Will Smith.
Right.
I just thought that was kind of cool. What do you guys have, Jen?
So I actually, and this is kind of I mean, maybe not everyone's favorite scenes, but I think it's really hilarious because I really like Harvey Feinstein. Firestein, sorry. I really like Harvey Firestein, and when they pretty much find out that everything's going to shit, and Jeff Goldblum's basically stated, it's like chess when the checkmate, when the clock gets down to 0. And he, how his voice is, it's very New York. And he says, oh, I have to call my mother. I have to call my lawyer. Oh, screw my lawyer. And then he's like naming all these different people that he has to call. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, of course it's a DEFCON 5 situation, but he just strikes me like he's like that all the time regardless. Mm-hmm. And I just got a really big kick out of that scene.
Yeah. So I think we might be, Jen may have a potential category nominee later on, it sounds like.
Maybe.
Yep.
Could be different, though. You never know.
Adam, do you have any other scenes you want to add?
So I was actually looking at all mine while you were rattling yours off, and you and I had the exact same scene, which is awesome.
Really?
Yeah, all 5.
It's like we talk to each other more than once a week.
Right.
I also like the scene, too, when Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith, when they're in that, like, kind of bay area on the mothership, and they're trying to keep, I guess, the window covering down or whatnot, and they finally get the virus to upload, and then the window covering goes up, and then they see the alien, and even though the alien can't communicate with words or anything, they're like, oh, bye-bye, and it's like, oh, you almost see like this like look on the alien's face like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah, like that alien has that, oh.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, I really like that scene too. I also like their banter while they're just there in the ship.
Right.
It's just such a good scene.
Right.
Yeah, that could be another category nominee down the road. The winner of this category for me, as much as I love the Whitmore speech, I have to go with the destruction of like the major cities. Like it's so iconic, and it's like when you think of this movie, most people are going to think of like the White House getting blown up because you'd never really seen that in a movie before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I said, like that sold the movie for me back in February. Like I don't give a fuck what the trailers look like afterward. I just want to see the White House blow up. It's just so cool to see that, and I'd never seen that before. So that's my winner. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree.
I was gonna go with the speech scene, but I'm gonna go with you. Just because, it's like it goes to like every piece of the world, and you get to see all of the different ships and all of the destruction that they're doing. It's just it's so cool.
Jen,
yeah, I would agree with that. I really like how they blew the White House up. I thought that was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I liked how they, destroyed different things. And I also liked at the end when they destroyed the ships, how everybody came together around the world. And they did that counteractive attack on a global basis. So I thought that was really cool, too.
Tied it off really nicely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you know what? Bill Pullman may have a chance to win another category here at some point. So I think he'll win something in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give him time. Just be patient. I think he'll get something. All right. So that leads us to the King Kong Ain't Got Shit on Me award for the best line of the movie.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
My nominees are the whole speech.
Yeah.
I can't really quote. I just call it the "Today we celebrate our Independence Day" line, but it's like the whole speech in general is just so fucking like gives you goosebumps. Like I was fired up watching this the other night, and I don't know how many times I've seen Independence Day. I've seen it probably at least 30 times.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I worked at a video store, so like
I know.
You get bored on a Tuesday, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna throw on Independence Day. Somebody just returned it.
Right.
So,
right.
There we go.
We can't quote the whole thing, but what I can put it in there. I'll splice it in there if you want. That way we can actually have it in the podcast.
Maybe if that's the winner, we'll just do it that way.
Okay.
I have Welcome to Earth from Will Smith. I thought that was a really cool, and that actually would be a serious contender to win if Bill Pullman just doesn't fucking deliver. Like that's like the Jordan's game winner in like the '96 NBA Finals. It's just like so clutch. I have Randy Quaid's "Hello Boys, I'm Back."
That was a good one too. I like that.
Then I also had "Forget the Fat Lady," that whole little line, Jeff Goldblum when they're trying to get out of Dodge. This probably shouldn't be nominated, but the fact that most people know I love Robert Loggia. And I just love where he says, "Get on the horn, tell them how to take those sons of bitches down." I still use that.
That's good. That's a good one.
Do you have any nominees, Jen?
Mine is one of yours. The "Hello Boys, I'm Back." That's probably my favorite line from that movie. Just because I love Randy Quaid, and he's going to kind of help to save the day. The old crazy drunk dad crop duster is going to save the day, kind of a thing.
Yeah. It's weird. His name's Russell also.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm not crazy. I have never been abducted by aliens, nor do I fly a crop duster. Adam, do you have any other nominees you want to add before we award this bad boy?
I only have some slightly different ones. I had the speech, of course, and "Welcome to Earth" and "Hello Boys, I'm Back." All of those are staples. But I also had to expound on the fat lady line. I had that whole banter between Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum in the ship when they're talking about the fat lady. That whole scene. That's one of my favorite lines. I think it's "This is our victory dance. Not until the fat lady sings." Oh yeah, okay. This is important. I got you, fat lady. That's so funny.
Well, then he also says you're obsessed with the fat lady.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to leave too. I thought that was kind of cool.
And it's specifically because he says it in another movie, but it's, they're closing up on us. They're closing. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Must go faster. Must go faster.
That is not just any movie he says that in. He says that in Jurassic Park.
Right. So I nominated that. I know it probably won't win out to Bill Pullman's speech, but I had to mention it just because it was in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. I think we have to give this to Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
I agree.
That speech is so iconic. Did you know that Budweiser just released a commercial where he parodies that?
Really?
Yeah,
he's actually in the commercial.
Yeah,
really.
I just seen it like a couple of days ago. It's basically it's him trying to recreate, like he's playing like a presidential character. He's trying to get you fired up, and then he's trying to get you to drink Budweiser beer.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, just that speech alone, like, it has to win.
Yep,
I would agree.
I agree.
Man, the clean sweep so far. Like we're all agreeing on stuff. Maybe we should just get rid of Lucas.
No, can't get rid of Lucas.
If I'm remembering correctly, just because I've listened to all of them so far.
So you're one of the three?
Yeah. Well, it's good because I edit them. I think you agree more than you disagree on everything with Lucas. So, I mean.
Well, I think going forward, Lucas is just going to start agreeing because he's afraid he's going to lose his job.
No, I would say the same. I think that you guys agree a lot on things too in episodes, at least from what I've listened to, and I've listened to all of them as well. So. 2
or 3. All right. I'm getting to know my audience personally now. All right, so we're in agreement.
Yes.
Bill Pullman wins that one. Okay.
Correct.
Yep.
All right, now our next category is the Lou Brown Give Him the Heater Award for the best performance by a bit player.
Get about the curveball, Ricky. Give him the heater.
I have a couple nominees. Brent Spiner, just because that was in the midst of his run on Star Trek: The Next Generation. He's the crazy scientist. I think he's kind of kooky, and he looks like a guy that's been cooped up in a lab for 30 years.
Yeah, he really does.
I also nominated James Rebhorn, who plays the slimy Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
He was good.
I can't really see anybody else doing that. He's just a real son of a bitch. It's man, I hope he gets his comeuppance. And he does. He gets fired. And then I nominated Judd Hirsch. He's Jeff Goldblum's dad. He's fucking awesome in this. Just he's kind of being he's playing a stereotype. But I mean, he just has I love when they're talking about like how much shit cost, and then he goes, "You don't think a hammer costs like $40,000, do you?" I was like, "Damn!" Like that makes like as a kid when I seen this, like, "Damn, that's right." Like, there's no way a fucking hammer costs that much. So why can't we do this? So,
Right.
do either one of you, like Adam, do you have any nominees you want to add to that?
Actually, I don't. I actually nominated Judd Hirsch too, the dad of Jeff Goldblum in this movie. I mean, he's my favorite bit actor. I like all the little quips that he adds into the movie, and how he, even though he's talking to the president, it doesn't matter. You know, he's still himself, and he still tells the president how it is.
Right.
And then I love how he basically snaps. Like, there's that scene where Jeff Goldblum is just horribly acting like he's drunk. I mean, that scene, that's like the one beef I've had with this movie is like
that scene is great.
Jeff Goldblum is like cannot play drunk for anything.
No.
Like, but then he snaps him out of it. I love that. It's like, okay, if you can snap him out of that, then like you've got like the fucking like you've got the power. So, Jen, do you have anybody you want to nominate for?
I really like Judd Hirsch as well. I just thought he was really great, and like to Adam's point, he was just telling it like it was whoever he was talking to. It didn't matter. And then, but I really love Harvey Fierstein. I got a kick out of him, and like his very brief snippet that he was in the movie. It actually kind of reminded me of him and Mrs. Doubtfire. He was like the same character, but
he's the exact same character.
Right. And I guess that's kind of one of the things that I enjoy about him.
Mm-hmm.
So
clean sweep. Judd Hirsch wins this, or are you going Firestein?
No, I would still have to say Judd Hirsch wins this for me.
Damn, this is like our Titanic episode. The year Titanic swept the Oscars. Just like, it's winning everything. We're all in agreement.
This is better than the Oscars, so.
Yeah, it is. Especially like the Oscars from a few weeks ago. Woof. I don't know if this is going to be a permanent category, but I created a new category.
Okay.
May see how people dig this.
Okay.
I'm calling this the Eric Stoltz Award for the performer that you would replace, or the Eric Stoltz Award for the performance that needs recast.
Okay.
So basically, infamously, Eric Stoltz was cast as Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
I did not know
And they
that.
shot a big chunk of the movie with him in it, and then Spielberg or Robert Zemeckis realized that like he just isn't a fit, and they tried to get Michael J. Fox at the beginning, but he was doing a television show, which typically in the 80s that seemed to be the big thing.
Right.
But then they managed to figure out a way to get Michael J. Fox to be in Back to the Future. So then they basically shit-canned Eric Stoltz, got Michael J. Fox, and the rest is history. I mean, they go on to make one of the greatest movies of all time.
You're talking about Eric Stoltz, the redhead. He was in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, he's Lance the drug dealer. He was in Mask.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Went on to have a very solid career, but I mean...
I can't see him as Marty McFly now.
No.
I like this category. It's something different.
So if there's a performance or an actor that you think that you can cast somebody better in, so feel free. I nominated Vivica A. Fox. I like her character, but I don't think she comes across, considering like she's like rescuing people. Like, to me, she just didn't convey the strength that I like to see in that. So originally, Jada Pinkett was asked to do the role of excuse me. She was considered for the role of Jasmine. I don't know why I couldn't think of her name for a second. And I think she would have been better. Like, everything Jada Pinkett has been in, she seems to have like this strength that she conveys in a lot of her roles. So I would personally recast Vivica A. Fox with Jada Pinkett.
I could see that. I could see that change for sure.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have a nominee? Adam, I'll start with you so Jen can think on it for a minute.
So
and
I didn't.
Don't say Robert Loggia because you can't.
I was thinking Robert Loggia, and I was like, no, I can't recast Robert Loggia.
Nope. Can't do it.
Everybody in this movie's great. I would agree with you. I think Jada Pinkett would have been a better fit for Jasmine. I'm probably going to agree with you on this one too, so it's going to be a sweep again, most likely. But I was thinking about it while we were talking because I didn't recast anybody at first. So I was like, well, maybe the scientist guy, maybe somebody different for him. And I was thinking of random actors that have played scientists, and like, how weird would it be if we got Doc Emmett Brown here in Independence Day? That would have been funny.
That would have been funny. I did think that like you could just swapping out. If you took James Rebhorn's character and you swapped him with James Cromwell, who I get those two confused all the time, to play the same character, and then I'll blow your guys' mind. Take out Randy Quaid and replace him with Gary Busey.
Oh,
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see it. Or Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte, like
No,
I always see
not
Nick
loony
Nolte.
enough?
No, Nick Nolte to me is always going to be Jack Cates in 48 Hours.
Okay.
And he doesn't really convey enough crazy to me.
Yeah.
Nick Nolte is just kind of like the drunken uncle that you
Yeah.
like, but he's also, you can tell like,
Yeah.
man, there's some dark shit going on with Uncle Nick, and there's a line I can't cross with him. But, yeah.
I could also see Daniel Stern, like his character from Home Alone. If you took Daniel Stern but took him and his character from Home Alone, like that personality, I could see him replacing Randy Quaid.
Okay, I can maybe see that too.
yeah.
So, do you have a nominee, or we just...
I don't know who the actress is, but Jeff Goldblum's wife, I always found her kind of boring.
Yeah, I thought about Margaret, Margaret Collin too.
Is that her name?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I could maybe see... They could have cast, since it's kind of a big role, like it's not a huge role, but it's like a fairly mid-sized role, like maybe get like Annette Bening.
I could see that. Yeah. She just she kind of like Vivica A. Fox. You would think that her role as the president's, she was the chief of press or the press secretary, I think. You would think that she would have more of a stronger character. Mm-hmm. Just kind of like, I'm scared, even when she was doing her press conference and whatnot, it was just very kind of, yeah, there's a lot going on. Yes, the president's going to speak. It was just kind of, I don't know for me.
Now, I'm not going to crap on Vivica A. Fox because she won me over in this movie, especially with her profession.
Oh, for sure.
I was like, damn. But I would swap her out with Jada Pinkett. And plus, I'm a huge Jada Pinkett fan. So,
yeah.
All right, so we're in agreement that it would be probably Vivica A. Fox. Although I do like Margaret Collin too. That's a really good one. We'll split it. You could have replaced either one of the ladies with different actresses.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
All right. The last category we got is who wins the movie. So I will start with you, Jen. Who wins the movie for you?
For me, it's Jeff Goldblum.
Is that because you wish that I looked like him?
No, it's because I love Jeff Goldblum, and I thought he played a very important... I mean, he wasn't per se in the movie maybe as much as some other people, but I feel like he was kind of the key factor into figuring out how to defeat the aliens. So, without him, that wouldn't have been possible. So for me, that wins it for sure.
Okay. Adam, who wins it for you?
Well, it's Jeff Goldblum. He had a cool run of movies there in the 90s, and I think he cemented himself as a national treasure. You know that the third Thor movie wouldn't be as good without him. So, I mean, Jeff Goldblum in this movie, he's sort of playing a nicer version of Ian Malcolm, I would say.
Oh yeah, I was getting ready to chime in. You go ahead and I'll.
Okay, but I think that his character in this movie is all of us. Like, why are you doing that? Why are we doing anything? We need to do it this way, and this is the smartest way to do things. Mm-hmm. And he's pretty much the voice of reason throughout all of it. Mm-hmm. And he's the like Jen said, he's the reason that we beat the aliens in the end. So
Now, I like Jeff Goldblum in this, but Jeff Goldblum is one of those actors who's kind of crafted a certain persona in his movies. He just is kind of like a bundle of nervous energy.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's him and Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park are the same character, but this one's the nicer version. I prefer Ian Malcolm over David in this, so that's why I can't give it to Jeff Goldblum. He's done this character before, but he did it better a few years prior.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
My winner is Will Smith.
I see that.
And I give it to Will Smith because this movie is probably the perfect showcase, and it's like introduced him to the world. Like Will Smith is one of those guys. Like, there's certain movies of his that I don't like, but Will Smith has a charisma that just comes through on the screen. Like, I don't know many people that hate Will Smith. You may not like some of the movies he's done. I mean, trust me, he's got plenty that I don't care for. But he has just this charisma where you can't help but root for him.
Mm-hmm. No, I would agree with that.
And, like, I think this is the showcase to the world. Like, this guy's going to be something big. And he stars in the biggest movie of 96. And you said it was the second biggest movie of all time for a little while.
Yeah.
And then he turns around the following year and follows this up with Men in Black.
That's a great movie. I like that movie a lot.
So I think just like this was like he became like one of the biggest stars, if not the biggest star in the world for like a huge period of time in the late 90s. And he kind of got derailed after like Wild Wild West. But yeah, that movie sucks. But yeah, I mean, I give it to him just because he went from being a television star who starred in a couple of successful movies to becoming like the top dog in Hollywood. So I give it to him.
Yeah.
So since I made a valid point, Will Smith wins.
Okay. No, I mean I think he's really great in it.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I like Jeff Goldblum, but like I said, I have to give it to Will Smith or Robert Loggia.
See,
Is that the old general?
Yeah,
That's
Robert
the old
Loggia's
guy.
the old
Okay,
guy.
okay, that's
He's the
what
one
I
that
thought.
says, "All right, get on the horn and tell them how to take those
Okay,
sons of bitches
gotcha.
down."
Okay.
It's fucking perfect.
I feel like he plays a similar role in every movie too. He's like this gruff, like father type figure.
Like I said, like I wish that a deleted scene was when that alien had a hold of Brent Spiner with his tentacles. That Robert Loggia, they just like, all right, go get him, and then like you just see Robert Loggia just punching the shit out of that alien.
I could totally see that.
Even maybe kisses his fist like a wrestler and like really cocks back and knocks him out.
That's good.
All right. So that is going to wrap up Independence Day. Do either one of you have anything you want to add to the movie before we wrap it? Like we're done for the night?
Nothing that I can think of. I
Adam?
enjoyed watching it. Oh, I did think of one thing. I know when we sat down and watched this the other night, I know it was, kind of later in the evening. And I'm like, man, I have to work tomorrow. How am I going to, get through this? What is it? 2 hours and 25 minutes or whatever that it is.
Yeah, I think that was like, I told you like, oh, it's around 2 hours. And then like, we looked like, fuck, it's 2 hours and 23 minutes.
Yeah. It's like that 23 minutes was like the key, like, oh God, this is a long movie type thing. But it's one of those movies that when you sit down and you start watching it, you can't stop watching it. It's like no matter what you're doing, you just, even though you might have seen it 10, 15, in your case, Russ, 30 times, as you said, you just get completely immersed in it and you just have to watch it from beginning to end. So that's something that I really like about it as well.
Oh, yeah. It's like, it's one of those movies that like, there's certain sequences in this movie that like, if I'm like I think I've talked about it before, like the best scene in the movie is I've always compared it to if you've got someplace you've got to be and you're waiting, like say if you and I have dinner plans and I'm waiting for you to finish up and I'm watching TV and I come across that, there's a chance we're going to be late because like, okay, I have to wait for this scene to end.
Right.
And then like,
right.
oh, well, fuck, here's something else. So
right.
That's kind of what I call the best scene in the movie. And this just has a sequence of like great scenes. And
Right.
It's a perfect summer blockbuster movie. Mm-hmm. That's essentially what it is.
Yep.
Adam, do you have anything you want to add to Independence Day before we go?
I think I just want to say that this is one of the best disaster movies of all time, if not the best. I don't know. I like a lot of disaster movies, but
that's something we could do real quick. Top 5 disaster movies, because I think Alien Invasions would be a top 5.
Yeah.
Or an alien invasion would be a disaster movie, because trust me, like if you're getting married on that day and you see a huge spacecraft over where you're getting married,
right?
That's a disaster.
Yeah.
Man, on my wedding day, really, this is what's going to happen? What a disaster.
I think Alanis Morissette and that song where she, Ironic, that was the original song. Like, where it says, rain on your wedding day. It was like an alien ship on my wedding day. And then she's like, that's not going to work.
Had to change it up a little bit.
Disaster movies for me, I would do the Poseidon Adventure, the one from the 70s.
Yeah.
Independence Day. This is in no particular order. Twister.
Yep.
Armageddon, because Armageddon's a bad movie, but I'll ride with that movie till the day I die. It's fucking awesome. Factually, totally, scientifically incorrect, but Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck on a meteorite.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. Number 5, I really want to like Deep Impact, but Deep Impact is Armageddon's the fun disaster movie, and Deep Impact's the really depressing one. It's like, fuck, that could really happen. Like, I don't want to watch this again. Airport, that one's really good too. Or no, The Towering Inferno. That one's really good. I bumped the Airport, The Towering Inferno would be my top 5.
Towering Inferno is better, yeah.
I don't think I've seen Towering Inferno.
It's about a huge high-rise on fire. It's got basically in the 70s, they just loaded up disaster movies with all these A-list stars, like Steve McQueen's in The Towering Inferno. Paul Newman, I think, is in that, which is the epitome of cool.
I would like to add not the new one, mind you, but the original, The Day the Earth Stood Still. I don't know why, I just love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. Spielberg's War of the Worlds is actually really good too.
Yeah,
there's some things I don't like about it, but I really enjoy that for the most part.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add to the?
Can you count where people turn into zombies from a virus?
That would be called a zombie movie.
Oh, okay. Well, that to me that's kind of a disaster. I mean,
it is a disaster. You are right, but
I could name 30 of those.
That's a genre. It's zombie movies.
So disaster movies for me, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I really like The Day After Tomorrow. I like that movie a lot. It's something. It's kind of a different twist, I guess, on a disaster movie. Independence Day, definitely. Twister. I really like Volcano. And then there's another one that has, what's the one with the English guy? Dang it. It's like the Earth is the climate change, and there's Geostorm. That's what it's called.
With Gerard Butler?
Yeah, I actually like that movie. It's a disaster movie, right?
I guess so. Gerard Butler actually did Greenland, which is actually really good. You should check that out.
Greenland?
It's on HBO Max.
Okay. You don't like Geostorm, I take it.
No.
I like it. I mean, it was kind of kitschy, but I enjoyed
Gerard's
it.
my dude, but I don't really care for that one.
I enjoyed it.
And the only reason I don't like The Day the Earth, or not The Day the Earth, the Day After Tomorrow, is I actually was talking to Russ about this and Lucas the other day, was because I could not suspend my disbelief because the science was just so bad. You can suspend your disbelief with Twister, but with the Day After Tomorrow, if it's cold enough for the guy to get out of the helicopter and freeze to death instantly,
right?
Being in a room with a little fire is not going to save your life.
Right. And I think that's one of the things that I like so much about it is that it was so inaccurate. It was just so out there.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up, put a pretty bow on it. This is Independence Day. Thank you, Adam, for joining us, and Jen, thank you for hopping on here.
Sure.
I was totally surprised by how much you loved Independence Day and you wanted to be a part of this.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot. It's
good. So real quick, you know the drill. check us out on wherever you get your podcast. We're on social media at the Couch Potato Podcast, Spotify, or not Spotify. You can listen to us on Spotify, but we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Lucas is supposed to be doing TikTok, but he's been shitting the bed on that.
You're fired.
Yeah. So unless he crafts like an Independence Day type scene, we might just stay off TikTok for a while. But we will be back next Monday with we're venturing back into the comic book realm. We're doing, in my opinion, the best comic book movie of all time. We're doing The Dark Knight.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Adam, you're going to be a part of that one, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Very good.
And maybe Lucas will be back. Maybe he won't. Maybe something else has happened. I don't know.
Another family thing.
Yeah, he's got another kid. He just had
Surprise!
another baby. Like, hey, I can't do it this week, guys. I just had another baby. So I've got 2 now. Like, the hell. All right, so until next Monday, we will talk at you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind, that word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July. And you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.